I mean, yes, you were chief of staff, but yes. I mean, if you had run for Senate and you had gotten the seat, and maybe by some gentleman's agreement, I mean, his seat as governor would definitely be vacant, right? Don't you think so? I mean, some people will say that it was open to you to run, or do you think that he already had an anointed candidate?
First of all, it was difficult for anybody to identify, because he had made it clear that he was going to shock a lot of people. And so, there are people whom he have identified to be strong in the state. He wouldn't want them to be at the state, so that want to influence what will happen at the state level. I can tell you this, Senator Magnus Abi never wanted to be a senator. Dakuku never wanted to go to House of Reps. In fact, I realized that the day the governor told him that he was going to the House of Reps, he sent traditional rulers to beg the governor that he is not interested. And the governor said, no, you must go.
And you think that these are plans to get rid of all of them?
Most. Of course. Now, when you talk about my issue,
and make them irrelevant and reverse politics?
Because if you're not in the state, his own thinking, if you're not in the state, you may not have that influence. Obviously, you are termed as Abuja politician. So, your influence will be whittled down. That is his own speculation. Whether it comes out that way or not is two different things. Now, for my own case, obviously, I've been a problem. Why? This was the man who was there, who championed when you were away for you to realize your governorship ambition. This was a man who was offered everything, and he said no. He was not going to betray somebody he has given his voice to. This was a man who he felt that, look, if we don't get rid of him now, with the kind of influence he has in the state, he may challenge you off bringing in your successor. Therefore, do everything possible to take him out of the state and send him to Abuja. Like I said, I'm not God, but God uses people. So Ameachi realizing his governmental ambition was made possible by people like us. And we had all the opportunities to betray him.
Did you eventually, I mean, but you acknowledged that he nominated you to be minister?
The president requires that every state will send nominees, obviously.
And it was all in the plan to get rid of you?
Of course. In fact, he even influenced or lobbied for me to become Minister of State. If you're chief of staff and you're digging your campaign.
So you were chief of staff at the time?
Yes. I was the chief of staff. At the same time, the DG of his campaign. In fact, it was my local government that gave the highest vote.
That's Obiakbon.
Yes, Obiakbon.
What do you think he would have done to show that he was actually appreciative of your gestures towards him, you know, rather than sending you out of the state? Because obviously you read going to Abuja as, you know, an attempt to get rid of you. I'm just wondering what else he could have done to show that he was actually trying to appreciate you, not send you away.
Now, if you really want, what I expected was, if you had no other motive, first of all, somebody who has worked with you, you would always want to call and find out his views. Now that is this, what do you think we should do? Right? But people are coming to let you know this is what the governor thinks about. You've not discussed with him. Now to also tell you, when I eventually went to Abuja, because as a politician, you must read the internal dynamics of what happens in your locality. Everybody that was close to me, he got rid of.
How do you mean rid of?
Nobody had an appointment. Nobody.
Politically?
Nobody. All those that were close to me, he took them out. You're a politician, you must know something is happening. Now, what he also did was to set up a structure in my own local government to challenge me.
What kind of structure are we talking about here?
You can believe that we'll be in a meeting and the governor will tell you, oh, so person will be my this, so person will be my this. In your local government, as a stakeholder, normally what is done, he tells stakeholders in each LG to forward names for his consideration. in our situation in our local government, as a minister, we had a National Assembly member, we had 2 assembly members, we had a chairman of council, we had party chairman. It was in my own local government that he never took a nominee. He took outside the name sent by this team.
But you also know that he's also from that same local government.
He's not. He's from a local government.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
You're from the
government.
same senatorial.
Yeah, we're only from the same senatorial district.
Yeah.
So you can see the calculated attempt.
But if you go back to what Malpa said,
Yes.
because you said the whole move started in 2010, and
Yeah.
that was leading up to the 2011 elections, and meaning he has another term to stay in office till 2015. So if he was actually gunning for the Senate, then there could also, and you maybe ultimately you'll be going for the governorship. It could be what they call a healthy swap. While he's coming to the Senate where you are there already, then you go into the governorship seat while he's coming back to the Senate.
No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You see, you must understand this, that when you are not in the state, except you are such a politician that keeps on relating with your people. When you're out of the state, your influence somehow is watered down. That is the truth of the matter.
Even if you're in the country.
Yes.
Why is that? That
Yes.
means
Now-
the talk about people running away from their constituencies is true after all, because even if you're in Abuja, we've seen people who perhaps I should even start by asking how often you go home, because people must be seen to go home to their constituents so almost weekly, if not monthly.
That is why I'm a threat, because for my own case, I'm not that kind of a politician that's just based in Abuja. I'm a politician that has contact, that relates with his people all the time. There is no week I don't go home. It's a policy of mine. And so, I'm very close to the people. And so it will be difficult for you to get rid of me completely.
You know, we had a meeting, an interview with the governor.
Okay.
We were in River State at the time, and we asked him, because you said that he saw when he became governor's forum chairman, the kind of power and influence that he could use at the national level. And we did ask him, we said, Mr. Governor, are you going for the vice presidency? He says no. We asked him, but Abuja thinks that you. I said, that's the problem. That's why they are victim.
And let me tell you something you should know. I work closely, so I know. Even in second term, he said he was not going to run.
Really?
So in his second term, he told him he was not going to run. I can show you the tape. I can show you the. He said he was not going to run. He was tired.
But Mr. Wike, I was just going to ask you.
So if he tells you now that he was not going to, he has no political ambition, it's not for people like us. We know. And nobody can fool me of that.
Sorry, let me bring in this question from Shegun Oyetoke. He says, it's for the minister, he says, how can your enemy, in quote, nominate you for ministerial appointment and still finding this a hard puzzle to solve? So he's saying, if you got your nomination for your ministerial job from the governor, it means he meant well for you.
It would appear so. As a politician, but I know that that is not the situation. For you who is not a politician, yes, it appears so. Now let me tell you, in the list, the first person was Atedo Peter Side. The second person was me. The third person was Toye Cole. Right? Now, when Atedo Peter Side declined, obviously, you expect the second person. That's correct. Now, what did he do? He picked the third person, being Toye Cole. What was his argument? That look, the president promised him to get another minister. So that's working towards that. I was the second person. So ordinarily, at the report that I hadn't withdrawn, my name should go in. But it was Toyoko who was the third person that went in. So people started asking questions. What is going on? So for you who is not a politician, he meant well. But for those of us who are politicians and who know the dynamics, we know.
What about what he said?
Sorry,
Yes.
but I think, but it looks that you also have a blame here, because they say you were so powerful as chief of staff in River State to the extent that people actually dreaded you then. So maybe he thought you were wielding an overwhelming influence in the politics of Rivers State.
But it was also the same influence when he was away that I welded, that brought everybody together.
When you say when he was away,
he was in Ghana. Everything was done in my heart, everything was done by me. In fact, nobody could sleep except they hear from me.
After he became governor or?
Before he became governor. It's the same influence. And I can also tell you, it's the same influence in 2011. I had to go and bring all those who were opposed to him. People like Osnopra, people like Salet Awuse. I brought everybody together. There's the need for all of us to work together. Because you can't say you're supporting Mr. President for his election, and then you are fighting the governor, who is also having a ticket of PDP.
I acknowledge that gift of yours, bringing everybody, sorry Mark, by bringing every aggrieved party then together. Why haven't you deployed that same skill now to bring every warring party or aggrieved persons to the table?
Only people today you can say that are joined the governor are those who are serving his cabinet. Mention politicians that have led PDP in River State.
Senator Abe.
Abe wants to run for governor. He believes that he can only realize that by governor supporting him.